To you, a person of interest is the MP Gatundu South with us in studio. And keep your questions and comments coming. Moses Kuria, also quite controversial, has made some statements, utterances, posts or tweets, if you like, that have not gone down so well with quite a number. Some that have seen him taken to court, charged, and a hearing that begins next month. So we'll talk about all of that and, of course, so much more. It's good to see you.
Good to see you,
Congratulations.
Sophia. Thank you very much.
Unopposed. Huh?
Well.
Making some history there.
Yeah.
Yeah? But let's start with, before we get into all that, Moses Kuria, before we got to see you on TV as this no-holds-barred, very blunt, in your words, as an analyst, as a commentator, activist, if you like, where did Moses come from? Who is he?
I don't know when you started seeing me on TV.
When you went on TV.
I've been a professional banker.
Yeah.
Well, that's what many people don't know. For quite some time. I think I would put it in the region of 17 to 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's the bulk of your life?
Since I graduated from the University of Nairobi, Bachelor of Commerce degree, way back in 1993. Then I had a career in banking, local banks, and even internationally. More international than in the country. Yeah, I spent close to 10 years moving from one country to the other, you know, pursuing my career in banking and information technology.
Yes.
And previous to that, I had done 6 years in the country. And, you know, very good experience. I must say, I really enjoyed that.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, and I've worked in Kenya, I've worked in Zimbabwe, in Cameroon, in Uganda, in Botswana.
So what happened? Why did you leave the banking?
Well, I thought it's time to change course.
To what?
To serving the public, the wider public. Yeah, and that's when I came back to the country. My last stint was in Dubai in 2007. I came back and went straight into Kibaki's campaign. Okay. Yeah.
So you went back into campaigns. You've not sought elective position before?
No, I haven't sought elective position. The first time I sought elective position was in 1992 when I offered myself to be treasurer of the student organization of Nairobi University.
Okay.
And I got 98% of the vote. And the second time is when I offered myself to be MP for Gatundu South in 2014, and I got 100% of the vote.
100% is questionable, but we'll get to that. I read somewhere that you were an altar boy.
Yes, I was. Yes,
really?
When I was primary school, I was an altar boy. And my initial thought was to be a priest. But I'm still a priest, you know, of some sort. You know, helping people and serving people and preaching the gospel of what I believe in.
What have you learned so far from the time you started? You mentioned being in Kibaki's campaign to now. A lot has happened in between that period of time. What for you have you seen Kenya go through as we were marking just 50 years this year?
I think for me is good memories and bad memories. Bad memories is our hypocrisy as a people. You know, we like sugarcoating and, you know, assuming that, you know, we are okay. Yeah. And always looking for someone to blame. And beneath that is the whole mass of our problems. But good memories in terms of, for Kenyans as a people, our resilience is unmatched. You know, if you look at the kind of trying moments we've been through, and we've come out strong and we've come out unscathed, despite all. Despite all of that. Of course, my biggest regret is over politicization of our country. And as I've mentioned, I've worked and I've traveled in a number of countries, and you know, politics is just a means of achieving some other goal within their national, you know, objectives. But for us here, politics is like everything, you know.
Yes.
You know,
everything must take a political dimension at some point.
And I was listening to a radio station, an FM station this morning, and I said how true, when I was driving here, that if Ebola would, you know, was to come out in Kenya, it will be blamed on either CORD or Jubilee. I thought, how true, you know.
Sad, but yeah.
Sad, yeah.
But
sad,
yeah,
but
you're not too far from the truth with that one. We have a way of getting everything political.
CORD would,
and perhaps you'd be one of those saying
it's
CORD.
Yes.
All right, let's go to your becoming the Member of Parliament for Gatundu South.
Yeah.
So unopposed, IEBC declaring no contest, so you're the member sworn in and all. But unopposed, quite the word that has been used by many, but looking at the events following up to you being sworn in and your main opponent dropping out, it was anything but unopposed. You saw members of TNA coming out to oppose. Yeah. You've been given the nomination ticket. There were a few protests and demos, and we'll see some of those clips in a short while. What do you say of how you've gotten into Parliament or National Assembly?
Well, there are two steps of how you get into Parliament. Mm-hmm. The first step is, actually there are three steps. The first is you pick your political party.
Yes.
And for me, I'm a founder. I've been in TNA, so TNA was my national party. The second step is that you offer yourself for a nomination, which I did. And I won that nomination.
But many disagreed. Why do you think that is the case?
Yes, people will always disagree, and people will go to the judicial processes provided for. And in my particular instance, two petitions were filed. One at the TNA tribunal, and the other one at IEBC itself. And both of them were dismissed. So is there any other body or jurisdiction out there which would claim to have to be more competent to adjudicate over that question than that? But the problem in Kenya, of course, is that, especially when it comes to someone like me, that I'm going to have close to 20 million judges out there, everybody judging. But
when you say someone like you, what do you mean?
I mean, because I've got my fair share of haters.
And why do you think you have those haters?
I don't know. And most important thing, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, I will live my life. I wake up, I'll do what I think is right. I always consult my conscience. Is what I'm doing right or wrong? If people choose that their hobby is to hate me, to hate on me, I don't really want to waste my time doing that. I want to spend my time doing what I think is right, helping to serve my people, and living true to my ideals. Yeah.
You say now that you feel you won 100%, but that's not true. There were many people that did not agree.
Yeah.
Well, even you, in this clip you're going to watch next, admitted to there being divisions, and
of course,
that is what you need to...
elections always divide the people, and that's why I think my election is a victory, in the sense that we ended up uniting the people. Yeah. And
how are they united?
They are united because everyone, whether they were from those people who are supporting me or those people who are supporting my competitors, finally agreed. Yes, finally agreed. Can I tell you, some of those people have been this was before the nominations. These people were my main campaigners, post-nominations. I can point to that guy, give you his name. He was in my campaign team, post-nominations. Same people.
But these people, majority of who perhaps would say one not for your candidature, did not get that opportunity to actually cast the vote. No. It is by default, not by design.
You see that guy? You see that guy in checked whatever?
But you cannot say that of everyone.
His name is Sofinga. He was one of my ward main campaigners post nominations, and that's the sweetness of democracy. But people will start from a position, then you start to sit together, dialogue with them. So you all now get to have a common vision of where you want to go. And today, if you ask about this division, it's not from the people of Gatundu. It's from people from outside Gatundu South who are really waiting for this Armageddon, the explosion to come and divide the people of Gatundu South. And the people of Gatundu South becomes clever and they refuse to be divided. Then you have got other people. That's when you'd ask them.
Which people are you talking about?
People from outside Gatundu.
Which ones?
Yeah, who are the people who you're saying are not happy with the 100% or with an opposed? Show me one from Gatundu South.
But are the people who went to the streets, and
that was prior to the nominations, and finally.
So you're saying after the nominations, everybody was behind Moses Kuria?
90% of people who were opposed to me were behind.
But that is, of course, your word against. We will now never know now that they did not get to put pen to paper.
Well, look. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
To their own opinion.
I'm the Member of Parliament for Gatundu South.
Let's listen to what you had to say after the nominations. Let's play that soundbite now, and we'll continue the conversation. On the divisions, what the Mheshimiwa had to say after the nominations, the clip.
I know that this election has actually divided the people of Gatundu South, and it is incumbent upon myself as a victor and upon my worthy competitors to join hands with me that we heal and unite the people of Gatundu South and actually marshal and consolidate our supporters within the party for the forthcoming general election.
So when you say they're divided, what exactly is dividing them other than people?
That was actually, I like that clip. One is on social.
Yes, yes.
That was on the day that the tribunal ruled, in my favor at the TNA, and we had come from a nomination exercise where there were 4 candidates, including myself, and of course everybody had their own vote. And the peculiar thing of that particular nomination is that all the 4 candidates had a lot of votes from their stronghold, from where they come from their localities. So in 2 wards I was a strong candidate, and then Joyce Guge was strong in some 2 wards, and the Camera was strong in a particular ward, and then so that's I didn't think that was very healthy, much as you might get the vote. So I said it is incumbent upon me to unite the people, and that was on way before the supposed day of the election, the nomination. And look at what I did after that. I went and united the people.
How?
By talking to all the candidates and telling them that we need to forge together, and convincing them that Gatundu South is much bigger than all of us.
Have you spoken to the candidate who just dropped out, Kiari Kamere? He was your main contestant, the one left standing.
Even before Mr. Kamere, there was during the nomination, Kamere was number 3, and there was Joyce Guge who was number 2. And that was my first step, to talk to her and integrate her vision and her team into my team, and ultimately to talk to Mr. Kamere and convince him that the issues of Gatundu are much bigger than both of us. Having said that, Mr. Kamere was also very, very wise to realize that there was also some attempts by external parties, to interfere with that particular election, and he said as much. And we all agree that we are going to unite the people of Gatundu and work together actually to deliver progress and development for that constituency.
Some have said that it is because of your style of politics and your abrasive, no holds barred, you'll go at whoever and whatever it takes, in terms of the party wanting you to represent and take that seat that you had everybody sort of like out of the way for you. Do you agree with that assessment?
So you don't agree? So you don't agree with the reasons that Mr. Kamere gave?
No, I'm just asking for the analyst to say
because Mr. Kamere said in broad daylight, I think it was about noon, and the sun was up.
Yes.
That he stepped down to unite the people of Gatundu South, and out of the respect for the party. Isn't that a clear and candid reason that he gave? But
he was not right. But he was vying on a different party. So which party?
Well, I mean, initially he was a member of TNA. Remember, he was in the nominations for TNA. Yeah, so he is deep down in his heart, he was at TNA.
TNA Damu.
Yes.
In the past, many of the things you have said have not gone down very well with people. Tweets, posts on Facebook. What do you think of some of the comments you make, especially those that now you have a case in court? What is it that informs when you this kind of remarks? For instance, the one that has seen you taken to court, charged.
You know very well we can't discuss the merits and demerits of that.
No, and we are not discussing, but what?
Because it is already in court.
Yes. But
overall, in a general way, I would say that what we have in this country is a very serious case of double standards. If I say something, it's deemed to be offensive. If somebody else says it, it's seen to be fair game. and I'll continuously challenge that. Yeah? Either we have got all the same set of standards and expectations, yeah, and benchmarks, yeah.
But what you